All right, fire away.
You're not an opening statement guy either, huh?
Well, I can do that. I've been coaching. I've been a head coach for 24 years, and maybe longer than that, counting high school. But no, uh, I going back tracking from last week's game and then looking into this one is last week I think offensively, I think from a standpoint of controlling the football, possession time, I think we did everything we could do to help win the game. We played better up front than I thought we would play by far against a team that's the front four is very good. I think the mentality we practiced with and some of the things that we did when we first got here, I think it paid off, made us tougher up front. I thought that we knew we couldn't. Had to get the ball out quick. We got the ball out quick. Didn't get sacked until the very end of the game. You know, I think I've never really been involved in losing a game and having that big time of possession advantage. But I think the bottom line is that we had I don't know 1, 2, 3 times that we had 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2. And we didn't capitalize on those situations, and those are critical situations that you have to pick up, and we didn't do that. And then we had 2 turnovers. But, I thought that, Jerome, our tight end, is going to be a great player. Now we know we need to, how to use him a little bit more. We didn't know that going in. I thought Gus did a good job for his first game. I was really pleased with Rob. I thought he ran downhill and was physical. Again, I spoke about our offensive line who, most all those guys haven't played, or even the transfers hadn't played a bunch. Certainly our quarterback was like a rookie in a lot of ways. And then, I thought receiver-wise, getting Janarian back and, we'll be able to certainly do more with him this next week. But I was pleasantly, to be honest with you, with how camp and learning curve and all the stuff, I was pleasantly surprised actually, and just disappointed. Everybody goes, well, why didn't we do, win or whatever? We didn't score enough points. I mean, to have that much possession time and control the ball like we did and give them only, I don't know how many snaps, kept their best defenses, offense being on the field, shortened the game, all that kind of stuff. We just didn't score enough points. We should have had 17 if we kicked a field goal, but, if we get a couple of those critical third downs, because we moved the ball all night. It's just that got to put the ball in the end zone, and so got to finish. And that'll be kind of our motto this week. You got to finish the job. So with that, going on to Eastern Michigan, I've been in the MAC. I've been at every level, and Eastern Michigan will come in here, and this will be their bowl game. This will be one of their bowl games. I know the coach, the special teams coach, worked for me at Minnesota, so I know that he'll be highly motivated also. And they went to a bowl game last year. The head coach is a good friend. He's done a heck of a job there of turning that program around, did what we're trying to do. And so we'll get their best shot, and I can speak from being at Northern Illinois when I was in the MAC, is that, we beat it, we beat Purdue. I think when I was at Southern Illinois, we beat Indiana. And we beat Minnesota, and that's how I got the job. Actually, we beat Minnesota when I was at Northern. So, and we played Wisconsin close. So, Eastern will come in here and play their best game. I guarantee you that. So, our kids are going to have to be ready. And like I said, we got to get better in those situations, which we'll focus and concentrate on. And part of that's my fault, and we'll get it fixed. So, with that. Opening statement. That's pretty good. That's next head. That's if you wanted my ex-head coach speech, I'm trying to get away from all that stuff, but y'all won't let me. So now you can ask me questions.
Jerry, lots of head coaches talk about the improvement you make from week 1 to week 2 is one of the biggest improvements that you make. What from the passing game are you looking? What areas are you looking to improve on the most?
Well, I think that the biggest area is we're 9 and 19 on third downs, which is pretty good, but the critical ones weren't good. So I think that we wanted to be in 3rd and 3 and 3rd and 4 a lot, and we were, and we just didn't capitalize on them. So I think third down's critical, 3rd and short, and then I think that from getting the ball down the field, getting and throwing some deep balls, I think protection. We were nervous about. We protected better than I thought we would, so that's a good thing. We need to be able to take some shots down the field. I don't think there's any question about that. And and then quarterback-wise, really, you take the 2 turnovers away, and you feel like Kyle played a pretty good game and did what we asked him to do. And we controlled the game, got us in right plays, etc. But we can't turn over the football. I mean, we have no room for error, and certainly when you play Washington. But even in this game, you can't have any room for error. We didn't have any at Minnesota, and we can't have any here. You don't have to be perfect, but you got to be damn close to it. You got to be able to not. You got to do all the little things.
Obviously, as a head coach, you're used to being down on the sidelines. How does it benefit you, do you think, as a play caller, to be on the sidelines and plus to be able to talk to Kyle one-on-one as opposed to speaking to him on the phone? How much do you think it helps?
Well, I think this year it helps. I mean, I'd rather be in the box, to be honest with you, because it's a lot easier to call plays from the box. So I'd much rather be there, but I'm fortunate to have Lester Erb up there, who's a guy that I was part of the hiring process. So, we work pretty well together. And then I can communicate with the quarterbacks and certainly the kids down there. And I thought we kept a good, calm, cool head. I didn't think we ever quit. We played to the bitter end and kept trying to get better. And so I think it's a good thing right now in our program for me to be on the boundary. It was unique for me to go back through the tunnel again after the situations that happened in Minnesota 2 years ago. So it was my first time, in that situation for a long time. So I can't tell you I wasn't a little bit nervous about going back on the field. But then once the game kicked off, you go back to just coaching ball. But it was, whole thing's been a unique experience. But it was good to get back out there and be competing and coaching. And that's what I enjoy doing.
Coach Ash mentioned getting Jonathan Lewis some playing time in the next couple of games. What are your thoughts on his progress and what's he done well, over the last few weeks?
Well, I think Jonathan's, his learning curve is, for a guy that's only been here since July. I mean, he's learned a lot. He's still learning a lot. I think we have to do, take some pressure off Kyle and in different situations. And I hate to say too much about how we utilize him, but it'll be a lot, according to the situation in the game, etc. But similar to what we did with Jordan Lynch when I was there, when we had a kid named Chandler Harnish. You'll have to go back and read, but I mean, he did some great things for us. And Chandler had a knee situation, and we didn't want to get him hit, so we had timely fashion, and Jordan could throw the ball, so it wasn't like having a wildcat guy back there. So, we'll see how things go, but he's getting better, every week, and every opportunity he gets to practice. He's got a great attitude, and he's going to be a big-time player. I just think it's one of those things where hadn't had him very long.
Coach Ash mentioned that he saw Rob Martin run as hard as he has since he's been here. What did you think of Rob Martin's performance and also the rest of the running backs, Gus and Blackshear?
Well, I think that, again, I can't speak for Rob. I wasn't here. I watched him in, the Big Ten Network when Ralph was here, I think it was, and he came downhill and ran very physical. And then I don't know what happened last year. I mean, I wasn't here to comment on it. I just thought he ran very hard and physical. Competition does a lot for you. either you fold in it or you take it on. And I think it's a good 1-2 punch right now. And then Blackshear is a dynamic athlete, and again, he's kind of like Jonathan Lewis. He's learning, and he'll just, as this thing goes, be a more part of a lot of different things. But again, not knowing really what we have and what we had, and it's cleared up a little bit, and we got to get it cleared up before we get into the Big Ten schedule, because that's what counts at the end of the day. And so we got to, we still got to see what we have, and we still got to learn more about our kids. But again, for a first game, I think we had 2 penalties on offense. You'd have to look back at that, and you watch some of the other teams play, and I thought we played fairly clean except the 2 turnovers, and one of them wasn't his fault, and one of them was. So one, we had a receiver not get where he needed to be.
Also mentioned that competition in the running back room. How much have you seen that help the guys kind of push forward and develop?
They better not rest, and I just like I told the quarterbacks, to me, I'm a little bit like Pete Carroll was at USC. There's competition every day, and you don't want to come out and practice every day and take me, and I put a little pressure on them during the week, which is good for them. I want to be able to handle pressure during the game, and I think every position's got to compete. It's a little harder in the offensive line because we're so thin, but at running back and different positions, receivers, if you want to take the day off, then you may take the day off on Saturday. Because if you don't work hard for me, you don't play. I don't care who it is.